Now I am recording. Hey, welcome to the Cast of Us, episode 4. This is the second time I'm doing this intro because now I'm recording. I'm KassemG, and that's Bruce Green.
Kassem, hi.
Hello, Bruce. This is our Last of Us discussion show. We talk about the last episode of The Last of Us. And today it's episode 4.
That's right.
Bruce,
it's very short.
Yeah, it's a short one. I'm trying to get in and out of this in like 7 minutes, so maybe we can hurry up and just get through.
Oh, we're trying to knock this podcast out in 7 minutes.
Well, we can speed run it, but I think it might take a little longer because there was some stuff that happened. What do you think of the episode?
I enjoyed this episode very much because it was a story-heavy episode. There was a lot of narrative progression. Mm-hmm. We got some characters that I think people will probably know from the video game.
Oh yeah.
I think there was some pretty solid development between Joel and Ellie as well.
There was, I think, the most so far. Yeah, it was really cool to see. All thanks to that joke book. I really enjoyed it as well. I thought it was short and sweet. I think the shortest so far. There was a little advancement in the story, some divergence from the video game, which was fine, and I liked. And our relationship between our two leads is growing more so than any other episode. It's nice.
Kassem, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that puns are the lowest form of humor.
Oh, are you not a pun guy, Bruce?
No.
Oh, gee, I don't know how you got along with Kevin for so long because I feel like that's his bread and butter.
I think I made fun of him all the time is what I did. But
cool, because I'm not a huge pun guy either, Bruce.
Okay, all right.
But I have been known to slip one. But it's almost like ironic, like when people look at me, they go, oh, this guy has glasses and a beanie. He must be a hipster. He must do things because they're ironic. That's what I'll do with puns is I'll throw them at you just because they're so stupid.
That's right. Yeah, because they're not funny. They're stupid.
Absolutely. I think they're stupid. But God, a well-placed pun really gets me going, dude. Really good.
I hated it. It makes me groan, and then I also think you're less funny when you make a pun, just so you know.
Okay, I'm going to, I do sort of like every episode try and gain a little more respect from you, who I consider to be somebody I look up to and appear in the space as well. But I will make sure to steer clear from puns. I actually got to delete a whole bunch of...
You had some puns written out?
I pulled up 40, 50, almost 50 puns that I was just gonna kick off the episode with, but that's fine. Let's
come on. No, the audience loves them though.
No, I already deleted them. I deleted them, and then I also
right.
went to the recycle bin and deleted them. So,
maybe
next time. Maybe next time.
Okay.
Chat, how are you? Hello. For those of you that are watching this
who
live,
I am, Kassem.
Look,
they're saying. Who's Bruce Green? I've just been around. I made content for years.
Yeah, Bruce, why don't you do like maybe there are a couple people that are new here. I've
sure.
God, it's like help me. I might be gaining somewhat of an audience every once in a while, so maybe there's a couple people who don't know who we are.
So, Kassem worked at G4 in the last year or two. I actually worked at G4 way back before that in 2007, 2011 timeframe.
Yeah,
back when G4
back
was
when it was good.
Original, either way, they're both good and bad. G4, the new G4 was great. I loved, but also it wasn't the old G4. Even the old G4, nobody watched it. So everybody hated G4. Let's just say everybody hated it. All right, from now on.
To be fair, I think we're the best part of it. Okay. And if you weren't here, I would just say I was the best part of it. But since you are also here, I think we together are the best part of it.
I also made content at Machinima. For many years, and I made content at Rooster Teeth, and now I'm just making content for myself. In the case that you're wondering who I am, and Kassem and I just recently, I've been trying to have dinner with Kassem for the last couple of weeks, and he's been really busy. He's a busy guy, but I'm trying to.
We have slung invites both ways, okay?
To each other. That's right.
And I got sad to say it probably won't be any day of the week this week, but maybe this weekend. Ashley really wants to hang with your pregnant wife. That
might be a little tough.
And so do I.
That might be a little tough. But so you don't want to hang out. You want to hang out with me though.
Well, I have to hang out with you to hang out with her, and for her safety, you should be there.
Why is that? You trying to seduce her?
No reason. Just for her safety. And much like a Joel protects an Ellie, I think you should She would be the Ellie. Look, if you're watching this live, thank you. Entity, I see your sub to Jared Pavao. Thank you, Jared. Aloha from Hawaii. If you're watching this on YouTube as a VOD, go ahead and click that subscribe button. That notification bell also doesn't hurt. That way you know every time Bruce uploads, you go right to it. You see it when it's piping hot content. And we invite you to join us live every Monday right here on Twitch. Scheduling this next episode, because of the Super Bowl, is happening Friday. However, I think, and I wanted to talk to you about this, I think we just stick with our Monday plan for our
Wait,
show.
didn't they? I thought I read that they pushed it entirely.
Oh,
Did they not push it
unless there
entirely?
was news on the news. Yeah, I heard
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
The chat will correct us. The chat will correct us.
They always do. But yeah, I know that they moved it initially, and then I thought they canceled it and just pushed it. But I could be wrong.
This is where we need you. You guys are uncredited producers of this. They're saying Friday. They're streaming early on Friday.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great. It's actually, I was really sad when I read that it wasn't going to be on. That's great. I'd much rather have it on
we
Friday.
will maintain our Monday schedule just to not confuse us and you.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Now that we're recording, did we get our thoughts on the episode we did? Right? Was that when I was recording?
Oh yeah, it was.
God,
It totally
damn.
was. Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Are you okay?
It's
been a long day, huh?
You know what I'm doing right now?
What's that?
I'm playing with Silly Putty.
Why does it look like that?
Because it's Crazy Aaron's Silly Putty. I went to the toy store and I got some very fancy Silly Putty. This shit's like $15. It's non-sponsored. I just bought it. But if you're out there,
toxic.
If you're out there, Crazy Aaron, yeah, I know I have an itch, like some sort of rash that's developed. But
you got a rash?
But it's so cool. So if you see me sort of doing like a motion like this or something, that's just me playing with my Silly Putty. I have one for you.
Is that a lie? Are you lying to me?
No, I have one for you.
Are you gonna give it to me when we have dinner?
Yeah. I'm gonna present it to you before dessert.
All right, I'm really looking forward to this. One of these days, we're gonna hang out outside of this podcast,
dude. It's gonna be great. We're fucking neighbors, man. Can you believe it?
I was gonna say, yeah, you and I, we live very close. We have no excuse. There's no excuse.
Absolutely no excuse. You'll have to excuse that transition. That's for my normal stream. I'm gonna change it back here. Let's talk about the episode, okay?
Yeah.
Can we? Is that okay with you?
Of course. I love this episode. I mean, yeah, that's all right with me. I mean, this is what we do.
Gosh, I like it because it was short and sweet, and it opened up with Ellie pointing a gun at me, which is kind of my fetish. I gotta tell you. But she's too young. I'm just saying, pointing a gun at me is dangerous, and I like it. Not Ellie.
I don't like it.
You know what movie I saw?
Yeah,
this is a sidetrack. I saw The Whale this weekend.
You just skated over something that was very important that you said.
No. I saw The Whale, and you know who was in that movie? The girl from
Brendan Fraser.
Stranger Things. No, I think Brendan Fraser was in it. Yeah, but this girl from Stranger Things, the redhead, and in the movie, her name is Ellie. And the whole time I was watching this movie, I was like, she would make such a great Ellie. Does that mean I don't think that Bella Ramsey is doing a great job? I thought this episode was her best performance to date. I think she's a great Ellie.
I would agree.
But, and I know she's been receiving some hate. Do you think people just don't like the way she looks?
People have been saying, and look, I don't think that there's anything. I hadn't even thought about this until somebody mentioned it. But they're like, this Ellie is not attractive enough. And I was like, attractive?
Yeah.
She's a fucking 13-year-old girl. What are you talking about attractive enough?
Is she 13?
And
I pinned her at 16.
Well, whatever. I mean, like, whatever she's supposed to be in the show.
And that does not change anything just because it's...
And it doesn't...
No, not at all.
I'm not... Again, we're just going to keep on moving. Just going to keep going.
The episode opens up. She's playing with a gun, right? She's got this gun, but Joel doesn't know yet. She wants this gun so bad. She wants to fire this fucking thing. She wants to kill.
I'm going to... Kassem, it's weird. It's weird, the fetishizing of the gun that she's doing. And
do you think so?
To me, it's like... Because I don't remember the game doing this very much. And every episode, they're harping on it. Every single episode, it's like, she loves guns. Ellie loves guns.
She definitely wants it, and she asks him for it, but they're definitely harping on it a little more here.
Yeah, maybe maybe it pays off in this episode. We'll talk about it. But maybe
yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. There is a scene.
I just hope that it stops.
Yeah, well, it does. Good news for you is that it will, and it does.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay. Now, this is great because my slideshow has decided to absolutely take a dump here. This is awesome.
That's all right. We'll figure it out. That's all right.
Just do me a favor and just cut this part out. Okay?
I'm actually not gonna do that. I'm instead gonna say thank you very much for watching this podcast that you have been doing the last 3 episodes. I've been watching the comments. The comments are all really nice and cordial, and people are having good debates in the comments. They're not being mean about our opinions.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So I want to say thank you again if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, and then of course Twitch chat. Thank you very much for watching.
The Twitch chat is so good, and we have learned that the actress is 19.
She's 19 years old. That's right.
Yeah. She's who knows how old she is, but there's no way to tell, and so we'll just go with she's legal. And here is a scene with Joel and Ellie. Now, in the game, he gets a sort of a hose from Bill, but we just assumed that this hose here was taken, and he is now siphoning gas because Bill says you never know how many cars out there have gas, and you always just got to siphon. And here he is. They're siphoning. And this is where she pulls out her joke book. Do you remember this part from the game? The joke book? Do you remember where she got it?
I mean, barely. So no, I haven't played the game in a while.
It was in the DLC. Okay, she got it from her little
her friend,
gal
right?
pal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to diminish her relationship with her friend. They were, kind of like more than friends. And she got this joke book, and she, like, word for word tells all these puns that are right out of the video game. And there's a slight. This is where the relationship starts to soften a little bit here. He doesn't flat out grin, but you can tell that he doesn't hate it, and this is kind of where we, hopefully by the end of the episode, we can break Joel, because he's just, he's just, up until this episode, I don't think he's smiled once. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you might be right. I mean, like, unless it was like in a flashback or something, but even then, when he was at Bill and Frank's house, I don't think he was smiling.
No.
So, yeah, no, we've not seen him smile at all.
Just a tough, hardened man, It just reminds me of me, just like a real man's. Why'd you laugh?
Do you consider yourself a man's man, Kassem?
I'm like a Navy SEAL's Navy SEAL. Like how comedians have a comedian.
Wow.
I am that. Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is. If it's my deep, gruff voice, or if it's my sort of my physique, but men look at me as like a sort of beacon, a light, as their leader.
I'm threatened by you when I am in your presence. So.
Thank you, and I never hope to like turn my gaze on you in a sort of powerful way. I want you to see my softer side, and vulnerability is masculine. So they get in they fill up the S10 with gas, and they're on their way. Look at this, huh? And then straight out of the game, you get the Hank Williams. You've got the gay porno mag, almost beat for beat right out of the game, where she makes a joke about the pages sticking together, which I thought is very fun. I like how they do that. Do you enjoy how they take the good moments out of the game and include it, or would you rather have had them rewrite these moments?
No, I love it, and actually, I'm kind of genuinely impressed that I don't know what it is. I'm genuinely impressed that either the video game had such terrific narrative structure that they just literally just lifted it directly out and put it in television, and it works.
Yeah.
Or I'm impressed at the adaptation. I'm not sure what it is. Like everybody's doing a really good job of adapting the video game to a television show and making it feel like a really good television show. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. It sort of gives like a respect to the writers of the video game in a way that's cool. And I found the one thing that I really enjoy about this series is that they amplify the stuff that you kind of didn't see in the game, like the in-between stuff, and then they left the stuff that was really good in the game in, because it was great, and that's part of the reason why we love the game. Yeah. Fun shots. They're obviously on their way to, I think they're supposed to be going to Pittsburgh here in the game, and then they end up in Kansas City. Now, they made this change, I think, solely based on the location of where they were shooting and stuff like that. But to me, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But I like to see where they're eating old ravioli too. I think that's great.
Well, their ultimate destination is Joel's brother in Wyoming.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, and that's kind of where they're headed. Like I'm actually really surprised they hadn't run into barricades already on the road, because this was something that, like, you start to really feel nervous about that one barricade at like the freeway underpass, and I was like, well, this is really bad. This is clearly a setup.
Yeah.
And so that's what honestly, I thought I was also really nervous the entire time when they were in the woods.
Yeah.
Things were they were going too right.
Right. They were having a nice evening, right?
Yeah.
And they had a fire, and that was, the first time she asked if they could have a fire, he said no, because they would draw attention. Let me ask you, if it's the end of the world, Bruce, it's me and you out there, I'm taking care of you, because obviously you can't take care of yourself.
Yeah, well, you're the manly man. Yeah.
Would you want me to be driving a car through the middle of a city? Or do you think you would feel safer we stuck to the back roads and sort of hiked our way state to state? What would you be your sort of method?
That's why I was confused. Like, why are they driving through? I mean, it's a highway packed full of abandoned cars with only one lane.
Yeah.
I would never ever be taking the highways. I'd be taking back roads all the way around.
I mean, I don't know if you guys play Call of Duty, right? I've been known to drop hot on a
Nobody
Call
plays
of Duty.
Call of Duty. Nobody plays
It's
that.
this little indie game I think people would like. It's a little bit of shooter, but when you can drive vehicles in this game, right? When you do, it alerts everyone around that you're driving, because not only is the car super loud, but it pops up on your radar. I mean, it's like the number one way to get killed is hopping in a vehicle. Sure, you get to go places. You get to cross the map quickly, but it's like puts a target on your back. If it was me, Bruce, and I was taking care of you, and there's a chance in the future, if it all goes to shit that I do, you can trust me and you will be going horseback.
Oh, what? We're going to ride horseback?
One horse. Me and you. You're in back.
Well, that's going to take a long time to get from place to place, though.
Yeah, but we'll be getting to know each other. And that's what...
I mean, have my arms wrapped around your waist.
Absolutely.
And
yeehaw.
we're gonna be doing a lot of this to each other.
Oh, Bruce. Always taking it there. I was just talking about saving you during the apocalypse riding a horse, and you had to
took it there.
Oh my
That was
God.
you took it there.
Okay, all right. Agree to disagree.
For the audio listeners, I want to make sure that they know I was making like a humping motion, just so people are aware.
That's right. That's what I saw. There's also a moment here where Joel doesn't sleep. He gets up and he does the protector thing, much like I would do for you. But he sort of has this responsibility, and it's sinking in, right? The sort of the instinct to take care of her, the fact that he knows that he has this responsibility, and the fact that it's a little bit bigger than him, and whatever he needs is starting to set in. And we start.
Let me ask you this.
Moments, yeah.
So let me ask you this. So when you're out there taking care of me, let's assume I'm younger like Ellie. I'm like 13, 14, and you're older like Joel. All right. Let's just assume that.
Can we just make you of legal age? Can we make you of legal age?
Yes, we can make me of legal. The age has nothing to do. Just listen.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about. I'm not talking about anything sexual, Cass.
All right. Well, because in my head, I'm turning it
no,
sexual.
I'm not talking about, I know you are, but it's not.
Okay.
I'm talking about the fact that I would ask, if I were Joel in this scenario, I would have asked Ellie.
Yeah.
Again, you asking younger Bruce to stay up and do like trade watch. So like
shifts.
You watch for an hour, I watch for an hour, you watch for an hour, etc. So then that way I could get a little rest. And I feel like Ellie is old enough in the show to keep watch, right? No?
She definitely is. You're making a good point here, because now the next day Joel's going to be so tired, right? And what happens if he's tired, if he's off his game? We need
make a
him.
Mistake.
He's gonna make a mistake.
Yeah.
Any mistake I've done in life, I've either been drunk or asleep.
Never sober? You never made a mistake sober?
No, never.
Never. Okay. All right. Well,
never. And you can quote me on that, buddy.
Right. I will do. I mean, it's recorded on YouTube right now. There it is. People will have it.
Yep. You see it. You have it. Clip it. Put it in the The most popular section. Hey, here's something from the game that when I was playing it a couple weeks ago, I really keyed into because I'm a big coffee guy, right? Are you a coffee guy, Bruce, or you no caffeine?
Not at all. No, I love caffeine, but I'm just not a coffee guy. So.
What do you mean? What do you do? Just like eat the pills? Like, how do you get your caffeine? Tea?
Yeah, yeah. It's That's,
What do you do?
it's the ADD pills. I just take those instead of drinking coffee. No, it's usually tea or soda. Soda's terrible for you, so it's generally tea.
Okay, all right. I'm a big coffee guy, right? And I was thinking like,
coffee's great, by the way. I love coffee's great for you. Just so you know.
Okay, you don't have to backtrack here. I understand where you are in your relationship to coffee, and it's not pleasant. You don't like it. But there's 20 years has gone by, I feel like. Maybe a couple times he's had coffee, but this is a nice moment. He got coffee from, I believe he probably just snagged it from Bill because Bill had everything, and he's making a fresh pot here. And this is a kind of a funny thing because she smells it and she's like, oh, that smells like shit. It just smells like hot piss water or whatever she called it. And I go, yeah, the first time I had coffee, I definitely didn't enjoy it, and I had to have it with a lot of milk and sugar, and I gotta imagine, unless you've got an acquired taste for it, it's no good. But it was so nice to see Joel having coffee. It really was.
So I thought the same thing. She called it burnt shit, and the reason is because we as adults have related a feeling to the beverage. So the reason, like alcohol doesn't necessarily taste good, however, it makes us feel good.
Yes.
So that's why we drink alcohol. Same with coffee. Some coffee doesn't taste good, but it makes you feel good.
Right.
And Ellie doesn't have that preconception yet.
No, she has no idea. I wonder what they have besides like milk and water. Do you know what I mean? What else would they be drinking?
Milk? Do they have milk?
They could be probably getting like milk and goats, you know?
Maybe, yeah. Okay.
Milking their fat teats or whatever, and then just like getting it wet. But other than milk and water, what else are they drinking?
I mean, they're probably drinking juice. You can juice anything if you got fruit.
Juice, okay. Juice is not bad. Yeah. I guess juice is probably the drink, right?
And also alcohol, by the way.
Well,
they're drinking
moonshine. Yeah.
Copious amounts of alcohol.
There's there's one thing I haven't seen is like the moonshine biz in this world. Do you think that exists? It has to, right?
100%. Yes, absolutely.
100%.
100%. It's gonna. People are making money hand over or whatever. Those government
hand over
bucks.
dick.
Hand over fist. Well, I was gonna say hand over fist, but you know.
Sure. This is our pod, and we can say what we want.
That's true. We can't say what we want. However, there are consequences to our actions.
That is true. That is true. And there's consequences for people that decide that they are going to randomly attack our protagonists here. So they end up in Kansas City. There is a fun, right out of the game, this scene where there is a man right in the middle of the road here. Oh, I'm injured. Oh, boy. This is the oldest scam. This is the old insurance scam. You know, like these guys that jump in front of your car and then all of a sudden like, hey, man, I'm going to sue you. You better give me some cash right now before I call the cops. They're pulling a little stunt here. A little scam. You ever pull anything like this?
Would you buy it? Would you buy it? Are you pulling over for this guy?
Not only would have pulled over, I would have just like left my gun. You know, like I'm like, oh my God, this guy's hurt. I would have left my gun. I would have run over there. I would have given him my coffee and tried to feed him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really nice of you. You are really a manly man, very masculine.
There's nothing more masculine than taking care of your fellow man. And if there's one thing you're going to take away from this podcast, that's it.
You are very good at that.
That's right.
Very good at that. Except that we still haven't had dinner.
We haven't had dinner. And boy, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to happen, I think, probably second quarter this year, me and you.
So this whole, like, you know, somebody's injured in the street. I feel like in this world, this is not going to work on anyone.
I can't imagine.
Last of Us dystopian, no way is anyone pulling over for this.
There has
Especially
to be
20 years of this. No way.
No, dude, this has to be like the oldest trick in the book by this point.
No, I mean, like, I'm actually surprised Joel just didn't ram him. Like, I would have just accelerated straight at him and hit him. Because
I felt like
you take one out of the fight, you know.
Totally. When I see this, I'm running him over, and I'm running over anyone really, and that's kind of what happens. They ended up kind of running through this little alleyway. They get a cinder lock dropped, and then they crash into this little, I don't know what it is, like a laundromat, and all of a sudden they're under siege. Okay,
this is straight out of the game, right? This is exactly
this is like
out of the game.
the exact thing that happens in the game. And in the game, which is fun because when you kill someone, one of the other baddies comes out and then they yell for that person by their name, you know? And it's supposed to make that experience a little more personal, I think. And it's kind of fun because you go, oh, no, that random bad guy I shot had a name, you know?
His name was Brian.
Brian. That's right. You shot Brian, man.
Yeah. Yep.
And if anyone shot you, God, I would scream about it for a few minutes and then I would get out of Dodge.
And then you'd run, right?
But you shot Bruce. And I'd loot your body, and then I would be gone.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Because I would imagine you'd have some good stuff on you.
I would probably have a bandage or two, maybe some goat's milk, like we talked about.
What would be, would that be it? What would be the one special item? I feel like everyone walking around in the post-apocalypse has one special item, you know, like a packet of Kool-Aid or like, you know, like not necessarily a photo of your family, but like one treat that they found while scavenging. What do you think your like treat would be?
Well, I would have, so from the past Last of Us episode from last week, I'd have the Kassem sponsored fleshlight on my.
That's right.
It's got your face on it.
Yeah.
And that would be the thing that you loot for my body.
Yeah, that would take up a little bit of room in your backpack for sure.
It would be, yeah, it's kind of large.
I use the extra large one, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I got mine custom ordered. You know, it resembles more like a sewer pipe than anything. That's
ew. Yuck.
He tells Ellie to get in the hole, and Joel's kind of surprised by this other guy. This other guy that sort of attacks him with the shotgun, and this guy's got him sort of dead to rights.
Joel smokes the two dudes that are shooting.
Oh yeah,
in front, just absolutely smokes them, and then gets surprised by a guy behind him.
These guys don't really know how to take cover that well. You know what I mean? Like there was a truck.
They're bad at it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they were just like out in the open. I thought that was a silly move. There's a moment here where this guy's pleading for his life, and I was like, "Oh, poor guy, you made the wrong choice."
I was going to say it's incredibly well acted by Brian because it made me super sad.
Would you watch something that the actor that played Brian is in? Would you seek him out because of this one scene?
I might. In the next thing I see him, I go, "That's Brian from Last of Us," because he does a great job of being.
He's a sniveling little bitch.
He's calling what? Well, he got paralyzed, dude. He got shot and paralyzed.
Well, who knows if he's lying? Do you know what I mean? He's saying anything he can to get out.
You think he's lying? He says.
How do you know you're paralyzed? Doesn't a doctor have to diagnose you as paralyzed? I don't think you can just say you're paralyzed. Nope. I'm taking a stand on this one, Bruce. A doctor has to proclaim you paralyzed.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
You took a stand, but either way. He can't move he says he can't move his legs.
Yeah, that could just be temporary. You never know.
And it's really, sure, yes, Kassem, you're right.
Yeah, thanks for yes-anding that. And so Ellie takes the opportunity. She shoots him right in the back, but in the game, she finishes the job. Here, Joel finishes the job.
How does Joel finish the job, by the way? Because you don't hear a gunshot. Is it a knife?
It's a knife.
He stabs him in the heart, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Is that the fastest way to kill someone?
Well, let's think about it. You know, I am a trained killing machine. What I do is when I kill, I have so many different moves that I combo into one. So like I slit your wrist, throat, stab you in the heart, and like scoop out your eyeballs, all in like one sort of move. So it's tough for me to say which one ends you. But yeah, stab to the heart. I just watched this movie, All Quiet on the Western Front. There's a good stab and heart scene in that. It took the guy a while. It took the guy a while to die.
I think he probably doesn't want to waste ammo, and I don't think he wants to draw attention by shooting him through the head.
Thank you for mentioning
So
that's the other thing. Is like not driving a car and not using your gun that much because it's just alerting everyone where you're at.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he ended up stabbing him in the heart. So real sad.
If you were shot, okay, and I was protecting you and I failed at my job, that wouldn't happen. And
you were shot, it's never going to happen. Yeah.
And you were like screaming out, right? You would probably be like, mama. You'd probably be doing some shit like this where you're
I'd be blubbering.
you're blubbering out to your mom. I would snuff you out, because all these sort of screams and
Suffocate me?
Yeah, I would snuff you out and suffocate you, because now you're putting me in danger, buddy. You're putting me in danger.
That's true. That's true.
And we can't, look, you're already gone. Just go. Let go to the light. Go out. You're safe now with God. I still have a shot in this world, and you're putting that in danger.
That's right. You're right. And yeah, if you suffocated me, you know what? I think I would take it, because Kassem was my caretaker, and I'd be like, hey, that's what Kassem. If Kassem deems it worthy, then I should do it. And I would die on purpose.
Yeah, and I would be sad for a little while. You know?
How long?
Until I cracked open that next can of Chef Boyardee, because God, nothing makes it better than a chef.
Oh man.
We meet a new character here.
That's right.
What do you think of this scene here with her and the doctor? What do we want to think of? What does the show want us to think about this particular character?
I think
because she is
initially,
new.
And initially we are kind of. She seems like a hard ass, but not too bad. But I feel like the show changes that almost right away when she sort of is interrogating this doctor. By the way, it sounds like he may have gave somebody up. He may have like done something a little seedy, but he's a doctor.
Yeah.
So you kind of need a doctor in your city. So she interrogates him a little bit. And then what is it? Like 1 minute later, they find out they don't need him. And she just goes in there, just puts one in his head, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah. You would think doctors you really have to hang on to, right?
Right. But she does not.
There is not
right away.
No one's pre-med right now in this world. No one's all the doctors that you have, and every one you lose, that's it. You know, that number's dwindling, and we have to almost like treat them like India treats those cows, you know, like we have to worship them because there's only so many of them. And so for her to sort of shoot this doctor is really telling us that this woman's capable of some pretty bad stuff, right? But we're made to think that she is doing this out of revenge because something happened to, I think was it her son or her?
It was something like that. Yeah. Like she kept mentioning, was it Henry? I think it was.
Yeah. Sam and Henry who did something, and now she's out to find them. And it seems like her and her group of guys overthrew the local Fedra, like the QZ there, because they have all the weapons and they have all the sort of,
her brother.
And now they have a like sort of cool little militia. You know, this is kind of what I would expect, like in sort of the lawless parts of West Virginia. You know, like it's like these guys.
Why West Virginia?
You know, there's just like up there in the Appalachian. And I'm sorry, Kyle, because he's Appalachian, but you know, Appalachian trash is you know, it's like early American trash. It's
is that a thing people say? Appalachian trash?
Yeah, well, I just did.
Okay.
And you know, can I get any Appalachian trash in the chat to sound off and let Bruce know if that's true? And Nutta Rouge, thank you for the tier 1. I'm glad that's what brought you in. Thank you so much for the subscription. Yeah, this was a moment here where you're like, oh, okay, this is a cool new character. This is played by Melanie Linsky, by the way. Last time I saw her was in that show Yellow Jackets. Did you see this?
Oh, I've been trying to figure out how to watch that. It's on like fucking Stars or some shit, right? How do I see Yellow Jackets?
It is on one of the funky ones for sure. One of the ones that you have to subscribe to just like temporarily and then you know, cancel once you've watched the show. She's a fantastic actress.
I really want to watch it.
It is a good show, and she's great in it, and I'm glad that she's here and then she's in this show. And I'm looking forward to seeing sort of how this you know, plays out. We're also introduced here to this guy. Okay, this guy plays Tommy. He's the voice actor of Tommy in the video game.
That's right. I feel like, so I looked him up because I was like, man, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He's in a bunch of CODs. He's in a bunch of Call of Duties.
Oh, he's that tactical guy, because he is. I think he does have like military experience.
Oh, does he? Oh, yeah. I mean, like he's he's been in when he was in like 5 or 6 Call of Duties going back 10 years. And he's been in a bunch of others.
Well, I have a new respect. His name's Jeffrey Pierce. I'm looking at his IMDb right now, It is, let's see. Boy, it's a lot of actors. He's in 69 different things. And he's in Call of Duty World War II. Look at that.
There you go. Yeah, he's in a lot of CODs.
Yeah, yeah. Geez, good for him, man. Well, I'm glad. What do you think it is, right? Because I was thinking about this. How do they decide what roles are going to give? Because, like the, what's her name who's playing the Firefly? She's still the Firefly. But they give...
Marlene, yeah.
Marlene is Marlene. But Jeffrey Pierce, who plays Tommy in the video game, is not playing Tommy here. Do you think that there's got to be... Do you think they auditioned for their roles and then they were like, we're going to get somebody else for this? And they were like, but we still got to give you some kind of role. Do you think that's
I think
what
that
happened?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. I think that when people come into audition, they usually audition for one or two parts, but then the casting director will go, they weren't good for this role, but they were good for another role that I think we got, and then they'll have them read for something else. So
yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Because Troy Baker's also in the game, but he's, obviously you're going to give that. You've got to be kind of a mega star if you're going to be the lead here. But it's
Troy Baker's a mega star.
Well, he's a mega video game star. He's a mega video game star.
Well, he's a mega star to me.
Do you think it's easier? What's easier, acting or voice acting?
Well, I mean, Troy Baker is acting. He does all the motion capture.
I understand, but there's a reason why Troy Baker is not starring in a Scorsese movie. Why is that?
He might get there.
You think so?
Kassem, you were in Transformers. You should know all about the acting gigs.
You're right. One of us here is part of Transformers canon. That person, please raise their hand. Thank you. I'll tell you about the art of acting, sir.
Yeah, you know it. You know how it goes.
Yeah, it's a good point. So these guys are a little bit of a militia here. They've got the Humvee. They've got the all the little military gear, the riot gear. So they're clearly armed and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Joel peeking through some newspapers, right? They're in hiding because these people are now looking for him. They have somehow tied Joel and Ellie, thinking that Sam and Henry are the ones putting them up to this. Then they have a nice little heart-to-heart where Joel finally gives Ellie a gun. Why do you think he gives Ellie this gun?
Because Ellie saved him. So we kind of glossed over it before, but he was about to get killed by Brian.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ellie shoots Brian in the back, saving Joel's life, effectively saving Joel's life. So now Joel has to show her how to use a gun and has to sort of consent to the fact that she's gonna have a gun.
Yeah, it's sort of I think he understands on some fundamental level it is safer for them if she just has a gun on her. It was proven today that she saved his life, and it wouldn't be probably the worst idea. And then he's sort of it's also just another brick coming down off of his wall. He's building a little bit of trust here. And what better way to show trust than letting the person that you see every day have a weapon that can kill you? There's a little bit of trust that is formed.
That's true. Well, I mean, Ellie has no reason to kill Joel. I don't think that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. If I were Joel, I'd be I don't know why she would ever shoot me. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, if it's me taking care of you, I would worry that you would shoot me.
Why? I have no reason to. You're my caretaker.
Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe you want the power. Maybe you want my can of ravioli. Maybe you want my little secret item.
You're the alpha male, Kassem.
Thank you.
I
have updated my Twitter profile to reflect that, by the way. I
am the beta. You are the alpha. So,
before this episode ends, we see Kathleen and what's the name? Perry.
What's his name?
Perry.
There it is. Okay. Yeah.
They're got a little bit of a situation going on behind this door.
What is that? What are they Are they hinting at the fact? They hinting at the mini boss and
they're hinting at the bloater.
Is that the bloater?
I'm almost positive because in the coming soon part of at the end of the episode, they show the bloater, right? Didn't they show it?
Oh, I don't watch
bloater.
Those. I don't watch the coming soons. Yeah, because for precisely that reason.
They show the bloater, and I was like, "Come on, dude! This is something that we want to see revealed." They didn't do that with the clickers, but yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on here. Is that there's a bloater. I don't even think they realize what it is, but they know it's a problem.
Yeah. It's a big problem. It turns out.
Joel and Ellie, now safe, decide to take some rest, but not before Ellie hits him with one last pun. Do you remember that
One
pun,
more
Bruce?
I don't.
I don't want you
my
to.
memory.
I don't
I struck
want
it
you
from
to
my memory, yeah.
memorize it, but I
Yeah.
want to see whatever your brain thinks it is in this moment. Tell me the pun.
Here's what I heard because I like the setup for the joke actually because she did a really good job. She was like, "Hey, can I ask you a serious question?" And Joel goes, "Yeah," because like I thought, "Oh, she's gonna ask a serious question," and then what my brain heard was blah 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 blah, right? And then they have a great laugh. What was it? What was it? I don't remember what it was.
Okay, I'm gonna try and remember it too. It was hey Joel.
Chat will remember.
Okay, hey Joel. What's the deal with diarrhea? Shit, what is it? Something about.
Was it the scarecrow one? Was it the scarecrow one?
No.
Oh
it
no,
wasn't
it was the diarrhea.
Okay, wait. Did you know that diarrhea is hereditary? Because it runs in your genes. Got him, bitch.
And Ellie starts laughing, and then Joel's clearly trying not to laugh, like me. In this scenario, I am Joel. I would be like, oh, gosh, I can't stand it, and then I would probably break because there's been a lot of tension, there's been a lot of like problems, and it's
you
good
like
to have a laugh.
Disgusting diarrhea humor. I know.
I also do love diarrhea humor. It's true. I do love fart humor.
Sick boy.
I'm a big fan of that, but at the same time, I hate puns. So they both have a real.
You hate them.
I hate them. I hate them. They have a real great laugh.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's one of those things where like, this is the type of show that whenever something good is happening, the show is going to ruin it, because the person writing this narrative loves to ruin good moments. They do. They love it.
You've got to bring them up before you bring them down.
That's right.
CV loves you. Thanks for the gifted sub to JSJS. Yeah, this was a fun moment, and this is the first chuckle. This is the first laugh. This is the first smile we've seen from Joe, I think, since he lost his daughter. This must be a kind of a cathartic moment.
Wow, really? You think
I mean,
so? 20 years of no laughing?
I can't imagine him and Tess like having I would like to think that they had some moments where they were laughing back and forth. But for the sake of this being a more impactful moment, no, he's never laughed. He's never laughed.
He's never laughed. Okay,
he's never laughed.
All right.
Yeah, and right when things are going well, here's Sam and Henry, busted.
That's right.
Who's gonna? I mean, are you gonna be afraid of this? You wake up, you got this cute little kid looking at you down here with a gun in your face. Looks like he's part of Lord of the Flies or something. What's happening?
Yeah, his finger could slip and I'd be dead. I'm definitely afraid of that.
You're worried about a slippery finger, huh?
I don't know that this kid can handle a gun, or maybe he's really good at it, right?
Yeah, maybe.
It's either one way or the other. Either he makes a mistake and kills me, or he's really good at it and kills me.
And of course, these guys are from the game. We have there's a nice little arc with these guys in the game, and I'm looking forward to that for the next episode. And that's going to pretty much tie up the show for this week. Do you have any thoughts about where we might go next episode? What might happen? Any hopes? Anything you want to see that you haven't seen?
Well, now that you spoiled the fact that the bloater's in it.
Please, guys, they spoiled it, not me. It was in the coming soon. No, I saw it in the chat. Okay, this is a spoiler-heavy show. Okay.
I never watch those coming soons because I don't want to know, because I know I'm going to watch the next episode. So fuck it. But I am very excited to see some good old-fashioned zombie killing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I think it's great.
Same. I can't wait to see what I see more of the bloater. I really want to see sort of what happens with Henry and Sam here. And then also, I'm very excited for the cannibals. There are some cannibals in the game, and I really, I love cannibal stuff. Do you know what I mean? Fascinated with Army Hammer. I love the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. The movie Hannibal.
Why?
I just think it's so fascinating, I think those guys are so cool, but so interesting. Guys I just want to grab a beer with. So I really look
Cannibals?
Oh, yeah. I just want to see what they're up to, what goes on in those brains of theirs, and what their brains taste like. So that should be coming up, and that'll be fun. And, that's going to wrap up this week. Thoughts, Bruce? Questions for your boy?
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks
We'll
for
see you next
listening,
Monday.
guys. We'll be here next
watching.
Monday.
Thanks.
If Bruce is here and I haven't taken him out to dinner and then eaten him.
Yeah, that's now I'm worried because you say you're fascinated with Army Hammer.
Oh yeah, what a crazy. I don't think he's like. First of all, I think he's a fantastic actor, and sure, he's made some bad decisions, but you know, he recently had an article come out where he told his side of the story.
What was his side?
He was also abused as a child, and that sort of distorted his view of sex and how sex should be had. And he loves the way people taste. So, you know, that's just his side of the story. Yeah. Every week we're here, guys. Every Monday. If you're watching this on Bruce's YouTube channel, click subscribe. Click that notification bell. Are we going to leave stuff out? Yes, because we're not experts, but we do love TV and we love talking about it, and we're going to have a good time doing it. We're going to go off on tangents. I'm going to be playing with Silly Putty the whole time. I got Bruce a Silly Putty, and so hopefully we'll both be playing with Silly Putty by the season finale.
One day we'll also have dinner, but I don't know when that's going to happen.
Gosh, it's going to be, you know, probably third quarter, maybe fiscal year 2025.
It's moving up. It's moving up. Okay.
Ooh, right. Man, we're both so busy. But I really appreciate you doing this with me every week, Bruce. There's no one else I'd rather be here with. I have so much fun, and we got to talk about whether or not we continue this with another show after. You know, we got to.
I mean, absolutely. I'm totally down. Like I actually gonna start watching Station 11 right after I finish Willow, which is by the way not the greatest, but I'm going to start Station 11 because of you. So.
You have to watch Station 11. I don't want to hype it up, but it's one of the best shows ever made. No hype. I'm not hyping.
That's a lot of hype. That's a lot.
But it's one of the
okay.
best shows ever committed to the screen, to the small screen. Just saying. Don't want you to like go in with big, sort of like high expectations, but I don't think I've seen a better show. So.
All right. Well. I'm excited.
Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. And Bruce, you're streaming tomorrow at 1?
1 p.m. Actually, I'm going to be streaming in just a couple hours, too.
Oh, you're streaming tonight as well. Okay, great.
I'm going to stream tonight, streaming tomorrow, the whole day. I stream all the time. You know.
I know you, dude. I know you, man. I got to come over see your setup. I'll be streaming tomorrow at 10 a.m. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Appreciate all the follows, all the subscribes. And I caught up with all that. Yep, we're all good to go. Bruce, I love you. I love you, Bruce.
We're gonna have dinner. We're gonna have dinner, or we're gonna have dinner.
All you got to do is say it back.
I love you too.
Thank you. We'll have dinner soon. All right. Until next time, folks. Okay. Then I'm gonna stop recording.